Hello Flosstube, my name is Erica and I'm here to talk to you about my stitching, my sewing, and my massive haul this week. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate all my subscribers and everyone who comments. I have not gotten back to, I think, any comments last week, and I really apologize. I've read them and I have the giveaway winner picked, but I just did not get a chance to really respond to anybody. The week was just crazy. I will do that. I'm sorry. The shop's been really busy, which is amazing, but it's eating up all of my free time and my downtime. So I think this is like Flosstube 12 maybe, and it is really dark and dreary out. So I actually have artificial light on, which I normally don't. So I don't know. I think it looks okay. And I got the super bright dress on because I was like, it's so dreary outside. I feel like wearing something bright and fun. So I have this on. I think we're supposed to go try to do mini golf after this. My kids have never done it. My husband at first suggested that he was gonna take them for Father's Day by himself because I was gonna do a Flosstube. And I was like, well, one, I'd like to go. Two, I don't know how much fun you're gonna have by yourself with two kids trying to do mini golf. It's not that it's two kids, it's a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So my daughter, the 1-year-old, would be running everywhere because she's gonna wanna do everything that everyone else is doing, but not actually listen or follow any directions. And my 3-year-old, I could see getting a little frustrated because he wouldn't really have the motor skills to hit a little tiny ball. So I could just picture some meltdowns happening. So thankfully he, I think, realized that, and we went fishing instead. So today, that is our plan. The week was really good. I chit chat, for those who are new, I chit chat about family and life stuff for a few minutes, and then I get straight into stitching and sewing and one other kind of new craft that I'll show off soon. So second week of T-ball, it's going pretty good. Tuesday's practice was rained out, which I was not that upset about because it's a 35-minute drive and it's at 5 o'clock at night. So it's over their dinner times. I always bring a picnic lunch or a picnic dinner and we eat that on the field before practice. Thursday was practice again and he did amazing. They had like a little mini game set up, so they had kids on every base along with a parent, and then they had a bunch of the kids hitting, and he was the first one up to bat. Did amazing, got to run all the bases. I got a really cute video of him. He did have a little bit of a meltdown at the beginning of practice because he wasn't getting it, and so they're teaching them how to catch the ball in a specific way, and you know how to underhand toss, and they were practicing, you know, putting it back and forth, and he missed it, as all the other kids did too. But he was starting to get really frustrated, and so he threw his glove down and threw a tantrum and went off the field. And he's not normally like that. Like I've said that before, my daughter throws a tantrum like 5 times a day. My son never really has, but he was just frustrated, and so he sat down. He's like, I don't want to do this, I'm not good at it. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's sit down, come here, watch these kids with me. Every single kid that was throwing the ball and trying to catch it missed it, every single one. So I told him, I was like, they're all missing it. They're all still having fun. They're all smiling and laughing. Like you don't do something and immediately are good at it. You have to practice. That's the whole point of going to practice every week, so you can get better. And it was really cool because I could see his little brain kind of watching these kids, seeing like beyond missing the ball. Like not a single one would get it. They would have to dive down behind themselves, but they were laughing the whole time. And so I think it was kind of a good teachable moment for him to realize, I don't know where he gets his perfectionism from, but it's okay to not be good at everything. You have to try your best and have fun, and you will get good. And so we finally got him back on the field, and just so happened that the coach was walking by as he got in line. They had parents on one side and kids on the other, and she got behind him, kind of held his glove, and was like, okay, Mom, toss it. And I did, and he caught it, and he had the biggest joyful smile on his face. It was so sweet. So my daughter, the funny thing I remember from her this week, she had Cheez-Its in the car the other day. We normally don't snack, ever. They eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then my son does have a late night snack before bedtime. He'll have apple, like slices with cinnamon, or a banana, or a cheese stick, or something like that. But for the most part, we don't snack because I find that they eat really healthy and a lot at their main meals if they're genuinely hungry. And they never ask for a snack because it's just not part of our routine. So one day we were out running errands, and I got I think it was Hobby Lobby. We had to go to Hobby Lobby for fabric for me. And got a small bag of Cheez-Its for them to share on the way home. And we get home and, you know, the Cheez-Its are all over the car seat. So I just grab them and I throw them down. And my husband hates it. I just throw them in the driveway. And the next day we come out and there's ants all over them. And I was like, oh, look at the ants that are eating your Cheez-Its, as I was getting ready to put her in the car seat. And she gets down and she starts growling at him. You do not come between this girl and food. Like, she is obsessed with eating and food. And she, oh my gosh, she was the fattest baby. Like, Facebook memories keeps popping up because she's like 20 months or 21 months now. And when she was 10, 11 months, I mean, just, I had no idea at the time that she was as fat as she was. But she was a fat baby and I loved it. I love fat babies. Okay, so getting into some whips. I have been working on my Mill Hill Halloween Village. I am just taking separate Mill Hill kits and putting them all on the same cloth. So this is Wanda's Wand Shop. I really don't understand why it doesn't focus. And then I have not started this yet, but the next one I'm doing is the Haunted House. I honestly don't know if I even worked on this since I last talked to you guys. Oh, I guess today's Saturday. My husband normally goes fishing today and I do Flosstube on Sunday, but it's supposed to rain today, so he's going fishing tomorrow. I don't even know if I really worked on this. I think I might have just worked on it for one day. Yeah, I think I did. I got the little cat. I need to backstitch her hat. I think I finished all this, most of it anyways. I really like that orange vine on the house, so I'm close to being done. I need to do her face, the pumpkin, the top of that window, and then some of the trees and the shrubs on the side. And I'm done. And there's gonna be a cute little button, I think it's here, of another pumpkin. So I love it. I really enjoy beading, and I think I'm gonna add some beads to my next whip that I'm getting ready to show y'all. I'm trying to stay nice and organized. Oh, and this is in one of my project bags. If you guys like it, you can check it out in the shop. And I got new fabric for project bag to show you. I had a project bag made up with it. Sorry, it's shaking, but it already sold. Yay! But now I don't have the actual project bag to show you. Okay, so this is my Hometown Holiday series. And last week I had almost all of the firehouse done. And I was gonna add some French knots to the wreath. And somebody else commented, why don't you add beads? And I was like, oh, I already added French knots, but that was a great idea. I wish I would have done that instead. So I might take the French knots out, but they're really cute, so. But the beads would have been cuter. I had a decent amount done on the tree lot. And then I was like, okay, I am not gonna start anything else until these are fully finished. Like these, yeah, of course I did. Until these two are fully finished, because mostly I have snow left and I already am hating how much snow I have to do. And it's not even that much. Really, it's not at all. It's just not fun. Like, I want to do all the fancy flaws and the, you know, the truck and the trees and the buildings. Like, I don't want to just do snow on the ground. Literally, I think I did my Flosstube on Sunday afternoon, I started the schoolhouse. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. For a couple of reasons. One, I have the patience of a 3-year-old. My son and I are probably on the same level. And two, I really wanted to make sure I was going to have enough room. I mean, I could have just measured it, but that's not as fun. Look at how cute. Okay, my nose keeps running. Oh, so there's the schoolhouse. The variegation on this is amazing. This is Cherry Cobbler, I'm pretty sure, Classic Colorworks. The cute swing set, the tree. I also love, I think that's English ivy. Yeah, steamed broccoli is the tree at the firehouse. And so, oh, there's my little French knots. Aren't they cute? Of course you can't really see. Oh, that actually looks decent. I am actually really good at French knots. And it's funny, I say it like I'm surprised because I was not really good at them. The first time I did them was for my mom's piece that I just finished a couple weeks ago actually. And I just did a couple there. And I got the hang of them really quickly, I think, and I love them. I think they're really fun. But I did struggle for years until I saw a tutorial on how to do them that just clicked for me. So I have just a little bit left. Okay, so the beading. I have decided, because this needs some bling, and after someone was like, do beads for the wreath, and I didn't read the comment in time, there's snowflakes everywhere. I'm gonna start doing some of the snowflakes in beads, in little Mill Hill crystal beads, because I just think it would look really cute as like sparkly snowflakes. So not all of them, but I would say probably 60 to 70%. So, and I definitely will have room. I just want to do one more row on the bottom. And so there's going to be kids in front of this, but that I'll still have enough room for one more. And I'm going to do, I was going to do 3 rows of 3, but I could probably, no, maybe not. I was going to say I could probably fit 4 on a row, but I don't love enough of the patterns to actually do that. I love it. I love it so much. It's so easy. It's quick. The colors are beautiful. The only issue that I'm having looking ahead is that, my arms are getting tired, I'm so weak. All of the other buildings that I'm doing are white, like all of them. Grandma's house, the diner, I don't know if I'm gonna do, the bookstore, the pet store, the train station, I think is white. There's a church, they're all white. And so I'm debating converting some of them to red. Maybe the same color as the school. I don't know. I just feel like that's a lot of white, and I wouldn't have done the 2 non-white buildings, or 3 all together, if I would have really thought ahead and realized that every other building I'm going to do is white. So I might do some color converting on those. Okay, and I have one more whip to show you, and then we'll get into some haul and some shop news. Like I said, the shop's been really busy, which is amazing, and I'm extremely grateful, but it has eaten up all of my free time. So I just have not had as much time to stitch or sew. I did not work on the 2 color quilts that I said I would. Like I said, I'm just over it. Oh, let me show you the pattern for this too. This is Quaker Halloween that I'm stitching up for my friend using glow-in-the-dark floss for the white. And I would say I'm about 90% done. So I'll probably hold on to it to show you guys next week when I'm 100% done. I'm sure I'll hold on to it, and I just won't mail it out until after. So I'm just working on this top corner right here. I have these big flowers. I've got to do, like, there's 2 different little parts of the flower. There's an identical one on this side, and then I need to do those 3 up here. And then I'm pretty much done. I need to do a little bit more with the glow-in-the-dark thread. There's a skull and like a star. And I do need to rip out this. The spacing is off, which is pretty obvious. But that, I mean, it's like 10 stitches on each row. So I just need to move 2 of them. I need to move those 2 down. So it's not gonna be much at all. But I love it. I think that this would also look really pretty just doing, instead of black, like a purple variegated floss. Because if I do this one for myself, that's what I would do. A really, really, really dark, almost purple to black variegated floss for everything. I think that would be really pretty. And the glow in the dark, it's really not that hard to work with for me. It's a DMC that I'm using, but it doesn't glow very much at all. Like, I guess I can see it glowing pretty good there. I don't know, maybe it just hasn't been exposed to enough light. I'm guessing it's light activated. And I'll sit it out in the sun for a couple days and see. But it glowed pretty good when I just did that. So those are all my whips. I do not have any, oh, dang it. Oh. I don't have any new starts, but I did have a new pattern I wanted to show you guys. So I really think of cross stitch as an heirloom, as hopefully like a family heirloom. Not all pieces, you know, like I've done like the little 4th of July cottage. That's not a family heirloom to me. That's just home decor. But the big pieces, like the one that I did for my mom, the Orchard Valley quilting bee, that is a family heirloom. I would like to do something like that for each of my kids. And it's hard because they're 3 and 1. And so, you know, my daughter, like, I'm not gonna put 200 hours into a Paw Patrol cross stitch. I'm sorry. that they're going to not like in a couple years. Like, I'm trying to find ones that are timeless for them. So for my son, I'm going to try to find a really cool Super Mario Brothers one. My husband is still obsessed with Mario Brothers. He's got a whole tattoo sleeve of Super Mario Brothers. So if my son ever gets to a point where he doesn't like it, my husband would happily hang it up in his office. But I can picture my son liking Yoshi and Mario into, you know, teenage years. And then when he's in his 20s, he probably won't want cross stitch hanging up in his house. And then we'll take it back, and then he can have it back when he's old enough to realize how cool it is again. So I need to find a pattern for that. And I've made him a Spider-Man blanket, but again, it's not an heirloom, it's not a quilt, it was a really quick blanket. My daughter, there was Stony Creek, I think it's called Land of Enchantment, one of their books that had 4 patterns in it. One was a castle, one was a lady with a unicorn. I would like to eventually do those too, because they're kind of 90s in style, but they're also timeless. Like, it was just beautiful artwork, a princess and a unicorn and a castle. I would love it as a 35-year-old in my room. I would be happy to have it. I think it's beautiful. So I think it's something that she could really grow with. And again, probably hit teenage years and not want anything to do with me or cross stitch. But then as a young adult, or as an adult my age, eventually realize that, oh wow, this is really pretty, and I'd hang it up again, or hang it up in her daughter's room. Oh my God. But I also found Tiny Modernist did this medieval castle stitch along with a shop, oh, there's a stray cat, Lakeside Needlecrafts, and it's the only place that you can buy this pattern. And so I was searching like hashtag Tiny Modernist on Instagram, and I saw a couple people doing this amazing, it's like a cut through view of a castle where there's a king and queen and a princess, and there's the kitchen and like all these different rooms of the castle. But it is very childlike. It's not something I don't think necessarily adults would have as decor in their house, because it's more cartoony, but it's beautifully done. And I could picture my daughter liking that for a while. And she does Tiny Modernist, I don't know the designer's name, I want to say it's Cheryl, but she's amazing. She's got a Halloween one, an Easter one, and a Christmas house, like a cut through Christmas house. And I want to eventually do all of them for my kids' rooms for the holidays, and then the castle one just year round. And so I went ahead and I bought the castle one. It was a PDF, and I have no patience and no chill. So that sold me on doing that one first. And I do think she'd appreciate that one more now. The princess, the Stony Creek ones, I think maybe if she was a little bit older. So I don't have that. It's downstairs somewhere. Okay, so getting into haul. This is my notes just to talk so I don't forget about some things, and my grocery list from who knows when. Motrin. Oh man, I used to be having some really bad headaches moving here with the elevation, but I started drinking coconut water, and it's so much better than Gatorade and so much better for you, and I haven't had any headaches, so I drink that when I run now. So this is a pattern I picked up. Let me get the glare. Oh, there it is. It's a llama. It's a Christmas llama with cats. It's so cute. And it's also applique, which I have no idea how to do. Okay, I'm gonna hit myself in the face with this thing. I think it's pretty small. It's about, I think it's a finished 24 by 24 maybe. So I'm gonna have to learn how to do applique, because I need a Christmas llama. I really do. Llamas are just so funny to me. I will never forget the first week or so we moved here. You know, in Alaska, you think you're gonna see wildlife all the time. No. We did have a moose in our yard a couple times, and that was pretty cool. Like, I heard somebody on the front doorstep. I thought I heard somebody. I heard footsteps. And I opened my curtain, and there was literally a moose, like, staring into our house. I mean, had to have been that far away from the glass. I was like, oh my God. I think it was just me and my son at the time. My husband might have been deployed. And I ran to the kitchen where my son, he was eating, and I ran back with my camera, and of course he was like down around the side of the house at that point, but I was like, oh my God, that was hilarious. But anyways, we moved here, and the first week we were here, I was like driving around with the kids, and I saw a house with freaking llamas in the front yard. They just had llamas. Outside of city limits, we live like in more of the outskirts of Colorado Springs. But I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is the greatest town I've ever been in. Like, if you can just drive around and see llamas in someone's freaking front yard, you're in paradise. Okay, so there's part of it. And then I got this as part of one of my orders for some fabric I needed for bags. It's Lori Holt's chunky yarn, chunky thread, 100% cotton, and it's a little sampler package. How cute is that? The colors, her colors are just beautiful. You know, I don't really like some of the colors like this that she does for her Christmas designs, just because I like really traditional red and green Christmas stuff. But she has just an eye for color and an eye for design that is unmatched. I mean, you see something and you immediately know it's Lori Holt. So she posted on her Instagram that she was doing some granny squares out of this stuff, and they were so cute. And they're crochet, which I took a crochet class a couple months ago, but I have like completely forgotten how to do it. But I really want to make a blanket using crocheted granny squares with these colors. She's got a lot more yarn, so there's a couple other colors that I really like a brighter pink and a brighter teal or like a light blue. But I just wanted to get some and just try it to see like if I can crochet again, and I know I'm gonna like it. Everyone raves about this chunky thread of hers, so I got that. And then I feel like I was personally attacked by the clearance yarn at Walmart this week. Someone posted in one of the crochet groups I'm in, oh my gosh, some of the yarn at Walmart is clearance, like go check it out. And so we went to Walmart the other day. I think I needed envelopes for shipping my project bags. And it is right by the craft section. And so we're walking by and I was like, oh, let's check. I forgot. Well, 6 things of yarn later, it was on sale. It was like $3.50 a piece. Do I know how to use it for anything? Absolutely not. Did that stop me from buying it? Clearly not. But I would really like to start crocheting again, at least granny squares. If I could just snap my fingers and be good at anything, it would be knitting. Because anytime I see a pattern for something, it's knit that I really want to do. A scarf, a shawl, a sweater. Like, I don't see crochet sweater patterns, you know? Like, it's just, I'm sure they're out there, but knitting seems like it's a lot more, it's difficult, but it's also, you can do a lot more with it. So these were all, oh, it's so pretty. And I'm sure this thread is horrible to work with. It's Walmart quality, it's tiny, it's got shimmering stuff in it, but I had to buy it. It's $3. Look how beautiful that is. And I love fall colors. So there's one. Oh my gosh, how pretty is that? Oh, and look, I gotta do both. It's like fairies. Like this, I could be, oh my gosh, if I could make something for my daughter, it'd be so cute. She would love it. It's so pretty. And I don't know what I can make with one thing, like maybe a scarf. I have no idea. Okay. Then this one, which I thought was just really, really pretty fall colors. And again, I don't even wear scarves. I'm even in Alaska. I don't think I've ever worn a scarf a day in my entire life. But that's probably all I can make at this point. And then the last little bit, I got 2 of these because I really like these colors. Like, if I could do it, I would make a chunky scarf like that and a matching hat. I don't even know if this would be enough, but this is what I got. It's so pretty. Beautiful, like hunter green. Oh, I love it. So there, that's my haul. That's not too bad. I don't think last week I had any haul because I didn't buy anything. I bought a couple flowers and that was it. So my storage is out of control too, because I have this big walk-in closet in our bedroom, which is where my sewing machine is. And so I have like all of it just in shelves in the walk-in closet, and I need better organization. So just a little bit of shop news. I was working on a new bag last night and I finished it, and it's super cute, but it's not perfect. And I can't do not perfect. I can do not perfect for myself for projects, like that is not perfect. That is not perfect. But when it comes to something for customers, like I'm too anal, I'm too OCD. So I didn't want to show it yet. And it's also not my ideal design. Like there's a couple things I want to tweak on it, but making bags is still pretty new to me. Like not project bags, I've made almost 100 of those, but more advanced bags. I have never made anything else. I've never made a bag aside from a project bag. So I'm still trying to kind of perfect things. But there is a new design in the shop this week. Oh my gosh, using this fabric. I'm so obsessed. Anything Christmas just gets me. So this is the outside fabric and the fabric that's around the zipper. And then this is the fabric that's behind the vinyl. It's so cute. Like I said, I had one that I made and used to take pictures, and then it sold. So it's on its way to its happy new home. But if you like this, you can check out my shop. The link is below. And I got the most amazing Stitchy mail, Stitchy kindness, everything. I don't want to say the people's names just in case they don't want their names being blasted, but I had a viewer, there's the right word, a viewer contact me and say like, oh, I saw that you started doing the Farmhouse Christmas series. I have the entire series, would you like it? And I wrote, and I read the email over breakfast, and I literally squealed in front of my kids like, oh my gosh, yes, I would like it very much. You know, we try to stick to a budget, for a long time we had to, like it was to the penny almost, or what our budget was. But now that I have been working from home again, there's a little bit more leeway, but the majority of that money is going to my kids' activities. And then also I'm starting to save up to go to Disney. So I told my husband, because before you know, he knew I wanted to go back to Disney. We've only gone once with the kids when they were two years and like 5 months. And then my daughter was 5 months, because they're almost exactly 2 years apart. So of course she has no recollection of it. But my son, it was so sweet to see him. He was so excited, and he's of the age where he thinks that they're still real. So I really wanted to go again before he realizes that they're just a teenager in a Mickey Mouse suit. But it's not in the budget. Like a, you know, $3,000 Disney vacation is not in our budget. And then I started selling project bags, and I started making money from home again. And so I told my husband, like, if I can pay for the Disney trip, can we go? And he's like, absolutely. Well, Mama's on a mission now. Anyways, so it was very, very, very kind and generous, and I am so grateful, because this would have been a lot of money. So I have all of the Farmhouse Christmas series now. I think this is the one I might already have, so you might see it as a giveaway again soon. And I am going to do these all as ornaments. I have a tree that my mom gave me when I was like first living on my own, that I put up in the master bedroom, and I want to do as like a farmhouse tree this year, because I've just been so into gardening, and like if I could have my dream, I would live in a farmhouse and have llamas, maybe some goats, some pigs. I don't eat any of it, but I would want to rescue them all. So cute. I can't, I'm so thank you. These are beyond precious. I can't wait to stitch them all, and then I will probably do them all as giveaways, so I can just keep spreading the Stitchy kindness. Let's see if, I don't know if I'll be able to get these back in here. And then I also had another amazing package this week. Oh, okay, maybe I should, okay, there it goes. From another viewer, another watcher. What is that, Buffy? Did she have a watchers? And she had also heard that I didn't have any needle minders. So she sent me, and like I just said, I am Disney obsessed. Look at how cute that needle minder is. It's a Minnie Mouse. And my son already tried to claim it. What's that? I want it. No, get away. It's mine. So cute. Ooh, I should just take the magnet off. The magnets are so strong. I love it. I mean, and we are, I say Disney obsessed, like we actually don't watch any Disney movies. My kids just don't have the patience for them still. They have never sat through a single movie. But we only watch pretty much Disney Channel and PBS as the only two channels that they watch. They love Doc McStuffins. Last time we went to Disney, he was obsessed with Mickey and the Roadster Racers. And you know, going to Disney is amazing and magical, but it's also very stressful. And so one day, I think it was right after lunchtime, I told my husband, I was like, okay, we need to get to the Disney Junior dance party. And he was like, why? Like, this is just for you. The kids are gonna like it. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever, let's go. So we get there, and we're like one of the first in line, and we get a great seat. And the show starts, and there's two people, like just normal teenage kids that come out and they're like talking to Mickey and the Roadster Racers, and you can see them on a big screen where they're like driving, trying to make it to the dance party on time. And in between talking to them, they'll bring out on stage Doc McStuffins or Sophia the First or other people like in the Disney Junior genre. And then about halfway through, you know, they kept cutting to Mickey and the Roadster Racers. I'm gonna start crying just talking about it. And showing them like, we're on our way, we're gonna be there in time. And my husband looks at me, are the Roadster Racers actually gonna come on stage? I was like, yeah, why do you think I told you we had to get here and get good seats? And he was like, I think I'm gonna cry. Just because like my son, literally, that was probably the only cartoon he was watching at the time, was Mickey and the Roadster Racers. And so there's a picture when the Roadster Racers come out on stage and my son, the photo is just of his face looking at them like it was a dream come true for him. And I think my husband and I were both getting teary-eyed. Then it's my last Disney story. The first day we were there, my husband was like, I don't get it, it's just crazy and chaotic and there's so many people and waiting in lines. And we go in February. Like that's our goal to go again, is in February. Give me enough time to save, and the crowds are really low. And then the second day he was like, okay, I can see why people like it. This is really fun. Like once you realize what Disney is, I don't think he had been since he was a child, like a young child where he couldn't even really remember it. So once you get over the whatever idea of what Disney was supposed to be and you see the reality of it, then I think you can kind of understand what's the flow of Disney and just enjoy it more. And then on the third day, he looked at me, he was like, I could just quit my job and live here. I could just come here every day. It was so sweet. On the last day too, they were watching, they had Guardians of the Galaxy, like a dance party, and my son and husband were watching that, and I was probably 500 feet or so away, sitting along a building that had like an entry, like a door for employees or something, and I was so tired because, oh my, I was walking like 12 miles a day and I was wearing my daughter at the time. And remember, she was a fat baby. So I was exhausted. And I was sitting there with her in my lap and I was covering her ears because I didn't realize like the speakers were all around us. Like there was nowhere that I could sit down away from the crowds of people and not be in the way that wasn't below a speaker. So I was just covering her ears and bouncing her around and like, you know, keeping her happy. And this old man comes over and taps me on the shoulder. And I was like, oh God, he's gonna tell me to move. And I'm so tired. And he goes, ma'am, I just wanted to say I saw you taking such good care. Oh, I cry again. I saw you taking such good care of your daughter, and I wanted to make you an honorary citizen of Disneyland. And he hands me this pen. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, Disney is like our thing. It's so sweet. He hands me this pen. I wish I would have. I had it somewhere. And it says Citizen of Disneyland. And I'm sure they do that fairly often. Like, it's not like it's a once a year where like I was the citizen of Disneyland. But you guys, that is one of my most prized possessions. Like, and it was just so sweet because he could probably take one look at me and see like I was a very tired mom with a young child just trying to rest and, you know, get away from the crowds. And here I was thinking he was going to tell me I had to move, and he made me like the highlight of my trip. I always meant to write to Disney and be like, if you have a guy that works around Guardians of the Galaxy, who, I mean, he was honestly like 85 years old. Like, you need to get out of the heat and go take care of yourself. Like, don't be working Disney. I guess it was like February. Anyways. So she sent me a Disney needle minder, and then she also sent me this. She said she ended up with 2 of these. This is part of Jack Frost Tree Farm, which I have to start all over again. I haven't done that yet, but I will. And I actually have this one too. So this is today's giveaway. So to enter this giveaway, this is part 2 of the series, so you would need to buy the rest of the series. Part 1 is the top that says Jack Frost Tree Farm, and then this is the second part. Or you could just do this by itself and do it as an ornament. It is so cute. If you would like to enter this, please be a subscriber, like the video, and comment below and tell me what your favorite 4th of July tradition was as a kid, or if you don't have any, what your current favorite tradition is. And I asked that, I was thinking about that because in Colorado, there are years where they cannot do any fireworks because of burn bans, which I totally get and respect. You know, not having wildfires is way more important than fireworks to me. But it is a little disappointing because we didn't have fireworks in Alaska either. The 4th of July, the sun was out 24 hours a day. so it was never dark enough to do fireworks. So that was one thing that we were really looking forward to coming here, and now we might not see him again. So I'm trying to think of like other things we could do to make it special for the kids. Even if we do make it to fireworks, they don't start until 9 o'clock at night. My daughter has never, ever, ever stayed up that late. My son is fine with it. My daughter is asleep in bed by 8 o'clock. She's in her bed at 7:30, but sometimes she kind of plays or talks to herself until 8. So I have no idea how she would react. I don't think she would be a crying, cranky mess, but she might. So there's a chance I would just tell my husband, like, you know, just take our son. You guys have a great time. I don't want her to, like I said, ruin everything by just being a tired baby, which she has her right to be. Like, if somebody made me stay up 2 hours later than normal, I might be a crying, cranky mess. But if that happens, we're just thinking of like alternatives. We'll probably make s'mores, gluten-free for me, and have like, you can't even have sparklers here. So we'll think of something. Okay, giveaway for last week was these two punch needle that I got at the Who Gives a Scrap for like $2 a piece. I really like this one, and I don't normally like stuff that's this primitive, but I really like it for some reason. And the winner for this is Rhonda Mason. Congrats, Rhonda. My email is below. Please email me your address and I will get these out in the mail. Also, if you were the winner last week, your stuff's going out Monday. I'm so sorry. I totally just forgot to mail it. I go to the post office like 3 or 4 times a week, but your giveaway is in my craft closet, and I'm gonna pull it out here so I see it. I kept walking by it, and I'm sorry. It's gonna go out Monday. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Saturday. It's usually on a Sunday. I did post a garden video update if anybody cares to see that. My tomatoes are still dying. It's very depressing. I have asked in every group that I'm in, like, what is going on? Here's a picture. Why are they wilting? Why are they all dying? And nobody can really help me. I'm doing everything right. I'm watering appropriately. I'm watering enough. They're getting enough sun. They're getting enough fertilizer. I'm pruning when they need it. It's just very depressing because I was really excited. I was growing some rare varieties, and one of them was a tie-dye green tomato. That's beautiful, and that's, I'm not gonna have any. It's on its last leg. Like, I don't even know why I'm trying to save it at this point. But we're getting lots of the flowers for the sugar snap peas. There are tons of flowers, so they'll come soon. Lots of my peppers have flowers. I have been eating tons of spinach and lettuce because I have enough to last me the rest of summer. I planted a huge amount. Lots of strawberries. The corn looks great. The sunflowers look great. The cherry tomatoes are amazing. Those are doing really good. I grew those from seed. The watermelon looks okay. I have a couple Job's Tears still. Those are another exotic one, usually grown like I think in the Philippines. What else? My pumpkins look amazing. I'm growing white pumpkins because my kids aren't really old enough to carve pumpkins still. So I was like, I'll grow white ones and we can paint them. Well, it's starting to starting to get a little bit more sunny. So hopefully mini golf will happen today still. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I am going to focus on getting that new bag design up. Like I said, I just need to, I'm gonna make it again and try to just tweak a couple things, and then I'll get it listed in the shop this week. I only have a couple orders left to be caught up with my shop orders, so the turnaround time is still about 3 to 5 days, which I'm very proud of. I work very hard to get them out as soon as possible. In my downtime, I am gonna try to start picking up the crochet again. Maybe with this stuff, because it's so chunky, and I think it'd be easier to work with. Oh, it's so pretty. And I know I could just do a crochet scarf, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Although I do like how they have the alternating colors. That would be really pretty, like a cream and this green. We'll see. Or maybe try to work on a granny square. I'll do that this week. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm gonna try to think of another good giveaway for next week. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me every week and watching my videos and hearing me rant and rave and ramble about Disney and life with 2 young kids, and having a Etsy shop that's taking up all of my spare time, but I really do appreciate it, and I'm very, very, very grateful for it. I have to set myself a schedule. So I was talking to my friend the other day, like, my last little rant, and then I'll get off. I am the type of person where if I have outstanding orders, it's all I think about. And I don't feel like I should be able to relax or do anything else if I have outstanding orders. It's not fair to the customers. But I also don't want to get burned out. And I do have to have a little bit of downtime because I do almost 100% of the childcare, 100% of the cleaning, all the cooking, because my husband's military and he's gone oftentimes when the kids and I wake up at like 7 and doesn't come home until they're already done eating dinner. So he sees them for like an hour and then it's bedtime. So it's just, it has to be that way. Like I have to do all that. And I love it. I love being a stay-at-home mom. But then when they nap or go to sleep at night, I have been spending all of that time working. And so I haven't had as much time to stitch or just to relax and do nothing, which I never do nothing, but you know what I mean? Like organize stuff or, you know, look for new fabrics on Facebook, like, or on my phone, not Facebook. And so I'm gonna set days off, Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. Saturday nights because no mail goes out Sunday anyways. So it's kind of not pointless for me to work. If I had a lot of orders, I would still work. But that's usually a good night for me to take a break because I can't mail anything out the next day anyways. And then Wednesday nights just because it's in the middle of the week. So that's gonna be my schedules. I will work, and I'll still work during the day, but just when they go to sleep. Instead of working from like 8 to 11 like I have been, I will actually relax and work on sewing stuff for fun or cross stitch or whatnot, just to keep me sane and to have downtime. Because if I don't get downtime, I start to get stressed and I'm burning the candle at both ends or all 3 ends or all 4 ends. And I get sniffy with the kids because I'm just too stressed and I have no time to decompress. So I'm excited to implement that effective tonight, and Mama's gonna drink some wine. I haven't had any wine in like a week. It's just been so busy, and I'm gonna have some tonight. And I'm very excited about it. I love wine. I only have like a bottle a week, if that, so it's not excessive, but oh my gosh, do I love some wine, especially when it's nice, because I like to drink in the backyard while the kids are playing and watch them and see my garden. And oh my gosh, this week my daughter handed me a live wasp. I was sitting there talking to my mom on the phone, and all of a sudden she comes up from behind my chair and she has this in her, I mean, and she puts it like this close to my face. I feel so bad. My immediate reaction was to push her. She didn't fall, she's fine. But if somebody puts a wasp in your face, I think your reaction is gonna be kind of push them away. And so she dropped the wasp and I jumped out of my chair, and then I looked down and the wasp is like walking around. So I think it was dying, or else it would have flown away and it wouldn't have gotten caught by a 20-month-old. But I'm like, what? Who does this? She's like that all the time. We saw Cricket on the sidewalk the other day and she laid down and kissed it. We're go to the park all the time. She kisses the trees. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's kind of cute, but it's a little weird too. My son never kissed trees and bugs and stuff like that. Whatever. Okay, I'm done. You guys have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in a week.